We appreciate you taking the time to be here today. I know we all have busy schedules, especially this time of year. September has turned out to be the busiest month of the year for me. I don't know about for everybody else. But I hope you're all very excited to hear Jan Delory speak this morning or afternoon. I guess it is technically afternoon now. Jan is with Sales Vantage Point. She is going to speak with us today about 3 surefire ways to improve sales effectiveness. I mean, what a better way to use an hour at lunch. The Sales Vantage Point helps companies grow, and Jan is a self-proclaimed lifelong learner, especially when it comes to sales effectiveness, reading, and materials. So,
grab one. But today our topic is 3 surefire ways to improve sales effectiveness. And we're going to talk about business intelligence as it pertains to the buying funnel, not the sales funnel. We all know the sales funnel. Everybody knows that. Drop clients in and squeeze them to get them out the bottom. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. How about the buying funnel? How about paying attention to buyers? And I just did an article in the Raleigh Business Development Examiner that talked about buyers and how important it is to be able to pull buyers rather than try and push them. And we're all focusing on how to do that through our websites and how to capture them from a marketing standpoint, but nobody's really paying attention to it yet from the sales standpoint. And maybe we need to know a lot more about our clients. So we have to look at trends. We have to understand what's going on with our clients. Who are they? How do we rate them? How do we put them in some kind of category? How do we make it more scientific rather than by the gut? So to give you an example, and I made this available to all of you off my website, is define the client. So an A client might be a client that's 25 million or more in revenue. Is that enough to know about them? No. What are the characteristics? Well, they consider us a valuable partner. That's a really good characteristic to have in a client. Why do they buy? Well, they want to grow their business. That's pretty simple. Where do they come from? Well, usually they come in from a referral source. What's the sales cycle? They can make a decision in 90 days or less. How to expand them? What do I mean by expand them? How do I take a client and make it a bigger client, a better client? How do I expand that account? How do I generate more revenue from it? Well, then I show them what others are doing. Say, well, gee, here's what your competitor is doing, or here's what others in your industry are talking about, and then that's how they like to expand. And then how do they pay? They pay on time, on delivery. That's an A client for me. Now, B clients for me, I'm not going to bore you, but I'll go real quickly, right? 10 million or less. They've got a restricted budget. They buy from me because they're just trying to stay on track. They're just trying to keep their head above water. We met at a conference maybe. Sales cycle's a little bit longer. How do I handle and expand this client? Well, I might have to visit them more often. I might have to be out in front of them once a month. And then there's C clients. We all have some of those. Right now you're thinking about who those are. Those are the price shoppers. For me, they're cost focused. They don't understand the value. Maybe I met them at a leads group. Maybe someone was forced to give them to me as a lead and it turned into a sale. Their sales cycle could be the same as the other. How do I expand them? Well, I show them how they can save money. And how do they pay? Usually 90 days, usually a little bit slower than everybody else. Sounds simple. But when you start taking every client you've ever worked with and putting them on a spreadsheet and figuring out where they fit, and then how you're going to work with these clients, and then taking it a step further and figuring out, wait a minute, really, how did I sell to them? What did they want from me? And then you take it to a whole new level. You're now taking metrics that are going to be able to give you the success to be able to prospect better, because you'll be able to do the same. Territory effectiveness, it's networking. You don't have to be in a room like this to network. Make the most of what you're doing when you're in your territory. And if you're designing territories for your sales personnel, if you have employees, make sure that they're being real effective. Make sure that they are not going from, this used to happen to me, oh, okay, Jan, your territory, here's the map, we're going to carve this out. Your territory is going to be this part of the state. Oh, but we have this one lead for you, and it just happens to be over there. Go run it, okay? It's gonna be a sale, go get it. So I'd go run, right? Go get the sale, close the deal. Now I gotta service that client. Now I gotta stop in and visit that client. And guess what happens to my territory? Right? Stay in your territory, stay focused. The world cannot be your client. Business intelligence will tell you that. When you've sat down and you've done this painful exercise, like a budget, and you sat down and figured out who your client is, you'll realize where you need to focus your time. You'll automatically become more effective. Because I want us all to brainstorm. What he did was he knew everybody by like one characteristic. I want us to think about our companies and who we are and brainstorm. I want it in 1 or 2 words. I don't want your 30-second commercial. I don't care. We help businesses improve, la 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 la. I can't remember that about you when I walk in the room. But when I walk into a room like this and I see you all at some networking event somewhere, I want to be able to go, ah, branding. I know, marketing, branding. I know who you are. Why? I'm a sales guru. Because I'm a lifelong learner of sales. I am always trying to increase sales for myself, for everybody around me. Anything that has to do about sales, I'm reading it. I need to know about it. I need to tell people about it. That's my branding. That's who I am. 1 to 2 words. When you're sitting and when you can break your clients and your prospects into all the different pieces and parts, and you can figure out how to message to these people appropriately, you can now support them through that buying process. We all have a process in which we buy things, right? We're all in the buying mode. Whether we're buying, I don't care, a tin of mints, or we're buying a house, there's a process that we go through. And you can support and definitely help that client. Remember we talked about squeezing them through the funnel, which doesn't work? You can help them make better decisions by educating them where they need educating, by prompting them where they need prompting, and getting them to move through that sales cycle quicker if you know where they are. Every sales organization I've ever been in, I go in and I say, okay, that's all well and fine, you showed me your forecast, now I get it. So where is your client? Where is their mindset? What stage are they in? And they'll all tell me, oh, well, they're in the final decision-making stage. Well, what does that mean? How many people are they looking at? What's your competition in there? What have you done to differentiate yourself? Well, I told them that we're better. Well, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. You need to be sending them information that differentiates yourself before they even start looking at other vendors. Leanne will tell you this because you're a strategist. If we were to line up everything that needs to happen in the buying process and supported each one with an email campaign, I'm not even talking about spending a lot of money. You could send an email campaign, and when you followed up as a business development person or a salesperson, you could be supporting that information. You'll get further faster and move people through a process if you work that way from a strategic standpoint. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. We'd love to have your feedback on this event, on the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, the events that are coming up, and even what you thought about the new location. So thank you all for coming. We appreciate it.